our impact real-world rule of money for today. Have you ever heard the phrase, or these words put together, that's called a like-kind exchange, or a like-to-like, or a like-for-like when it comes to money? And so basically what it is it's just an exchange of money, where we go from one account or one place to another place, and depending on where we go, it could be subject to tax or not, depending on the exchange that we do. And so typically, any time that a financial transaction is done and a person receives money from the sale of something, then it's subject to tax. And so there's, just like in the tax code, you have section 401k, you have section 403b, you have, all these different sections of the tax code. You have a section in there that talks about exchanges. And so two that most people are probably the most familiar with is you have a 1031 exchange and you have a 1035 exchange. And basically it's just like to like. Where I have real estate, for example, is a 1031 exchange. So I have a 1031 exchange, which means I have a piece of real estate, I have some property, and I sell it. If I was to just take all that money and keep it, especially past the window where I have time to move it into something else, that would be subject to taxes. And so obviously, a lot of the time, a lot of people don't want to pay taxes when they sell real estate. So what they'll do is a 1031 exchange, which is just selling the real estate, taking the gain from it, and immediately putting it into more real estate or a business. And that's considered like to like, real estate to real estate to land, land to real estate, a business to real estate to land, or a business to land, etc. But it's all a like kind exchange that all fits into that same family. Now, when it comes to 1031 exchanges, there are exceptions, exemptions, really, that if I'm a single person and I have a primary residence defined as I've lived in the home for 2 of the last 5 years as my primary residence, had it for 5 years, I sell it, and I can take that gain and I can keep it up to $250,000 if I'm single. If I'm married, then that exemption is up to $500,000. I could buy a house for $100,000. I sell it for $500,000. I could take that $400,000 and I can keep it because that falls under the exemption of being subject to capital gains tax. Now, I have to have it be a primary residence, which defined as I have lived in the home for 2 of the last 5 years as a primary residence. Okay, so that's a 1031 exchange, real estate, real estate. So now there's a 1035 exchange, which is, a few exchanges down the exchange list. 1035 is if I have an insurance product, meaning a non-qualified annuity, not any annuity, but a non-qualified annuity, and or an insurance plan that has cash value in it. And then those can go to each other as well, one way. So if I have a non-qualified annuity with company ABC, and I want to get another non-qualified annuity, if I was to, again, cash that out, take it, and keep it, any gains I would pay taxes on. Because I'm keeping it, I'm realizing those gains. If I want to just transfer it, do a like-to-like or like-for-like, like-kind exchange, then I can take the money in that non-qualified annuity, which has tax-deferred interest, where I would pay taxes on it if I pulled it out, where I'm just rolling it or transferring it to another non-qualified annuity, then that's considered a 1035 exchange. I fill out a 1035 exchange form to move it. Okay? I can also, let's say I have a cash-valued insurance policy. I have a whole life, and I like a variable life, and so I want to take the money out of my whole life policy and move it to variable, or I have a universal life and I want to move it to whole life. Then the cash in the account, not the death benefit, but the actual cash in the account can be moved under a 1035 exchange. You can take money from a life insurance policy and do a 1035 exchange from life insurance to annuity, but are not able, unless there's some exception that I've never heard of, because I've never seen this, and I've never had anybody try it, and saw that in some study material that you're unable to do it, is take money from a non-qualified annuity and do a 1035 exchange into life insurance. Okay? But 1035 exchange is for life insurance products. Okay? Not car insurance, health insurance, health savings accounts, things like that. But what you're exchanging in an insurance product, and something unique here for this real-world rule of money, is that if I have a life insurance policy that I haven't had for very long, and let's say I've actually put in more than what my cash value says, because my cost of insurance is pretty high, and I haven't got a lot of cash accumulation. So let's say that I've put in total over my entire life $10,000, and I look at the cash, and it's only at 7. Well, why that would be is that the cost of insurance, say, is enough that I put in my $10,000, the cost of insurance has come out, and now with the growth or whatever, it's only reached 7,000, where I get to move the cash I can send to a new account, but what's actually getting exchanged as well is my basis. My cash is 7,000. Basis would be what I've put in, which is 10,000. So I'm actually able to then, in the future, when I go to take money out, because, and we're getting into maybe some deeper stuff than just a real-world rule of money, is I'm able to actually take, because it's a first-in, first-out account, I'm able to take up to my basis what I've put in with no tax. And so that's why I want to exchange that basis, because a lot of the time the basis is going to be higher than the cash, especially if I do it in the early years. Okay? So that is our real-world rule of money.